first of all, can I do something really quick, and then we'll get into this conversation.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I've waited for this to say something that I've wanted to say, and I know y'all have no idea what's about to come out of my mouth, but I haven't even mentioned it on social media or interviews or anything.
Hello, Comedy Jonah. Hi, John.
Hey, what's going on? It's a special show on a Friday. What?
It is a special Friday show, and I am here and so excited for it, John. I cannot wait. We have so much to get to on this show, but I want to let everybody know now, wherever you guys are watching this back, make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe. Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all of those places. You guys following, liking, and subscribing is a really great way to help support our shows, so we really appreciate all of you who do that. And of course, share the show, because sharing is caring. Let people know that we are live right now. Put it in your favorite Facebook groups later. 5-star ratings, nice reviews on your favorite podcast places. All of those things, are super duper helpful. Of course, if you have any questions on this show, feel free to leave them in the chat, or you can tweet us them with hashtag YRRLive. Now, that being said, John, Are you excited for our
I'm just
site?
beside myself. I'm beside myself.
All right. Well,
Excited.
I know I'm not normally the person who does the intros, but allow me to introduce our guest, everybody. Somebody who I love more than rain clouds in the summer under the stars of the night sky. It's Frenchie. Hi, Frenchie.
I can't with y'all. Y'all are something else.
Oh my gosh. See, I think he sounds more like Leslie Jordan on Will and Grace than he does you, Frenchie. Like,
my wife would appreciate that. She loves Will and Grace.
But here's the joke that I think, we've been doing this for 10 years. The joke is that's my accent for the country person every year. It doesn't matter. Like, this was my Cliff the other year. Nicole, Cole, what you doing? Like, that's just it. That's just how I always do them across the board, which is why they're fun.
It was perfect.
Frenchie, it is so great to see you out here in the real world.
First of all, how are you doing? How is it being back? How are you adjusting?
The first day it was a little rough. You come out and you see all this, because you're hidden from everything, and then you come out and just bam, there it is. And it was different, coming from the other side. I used to be the one on the couch being like, I could have done that so much better. And then when you're in there, it's like, oh my God, now I see what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And it's totally different, and I expected it because I asked for it. Honestly, I said, if I ever, and at that time I had already known. So when I put out a thing, I was like, give me hell if I'm ever on. And I expected it and I wanted it. And I'm fine with roasting. But then you see the crazy things and those, the over the line things, the I'm going to kill your family things on Instagram, and, stuff like that. And then it's like, whoa, ease up a little bit.
When you said roasting, welcome to your reality recaps. This is what we do here. So
hey, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Like if you can't laugh at yourself and know that you messed up, then what's the point of doing any of this? Like it's stupid in my opinion.
I laugh at Eric all the time.
Yeah. I totally do. So we want to get into stuff, Frenchie, about this season. Of course, like I said, if people have questions for you, they can leave them in the chat. You can tweet us them. But I kind of wanted to start a little bit at the beginning. I mean, like you said, you were a super fan of this show. You were a live feed watcher before you went into the house. How much did that aspect impact your game?
Horribly, because when I went in the house, I was like, I'm going to play the way that I would want to see somebody go in there, swing for the fences, like not care, just balls to the wall, I guess you could say. And that was horrible because my gut was saying, all right, don't be stupid. Like, shut up, just slide. And the fan of me was like, nah. It was like the angel and the devil on your shoulders, like it's like the angel's like, nah, I don't know if I can curse or not.
Yes.
The angel on my shoulder was like, just shut the hell up, like, and just go. And the devil on me was like, nah, let's cause some chaos. Let's do this. And the devil won. We
know which one won. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was obvious. Like I literally like. When I came out, I kicked my own self in the ass. I'm like, what did you do? That's embarrassing. You know what I mean? Like I was literally embarrassed of myself.
I don't think you should be too embarrassed. I was rooting from you from the beginning.
I heard.
Like so much that I even made a bet. Do you know of this bet?
I was made aware of this bet today, actually. Okay. And I tell you what, I'm a good sport. Okay. Mm-hmm. And did you get to see Travissa in the house?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Well, I'll do the losing bet with you. How about that?
Oh my gosh.
I'll do it with you.
See, now for those of you that don't know, here's the thing. Although I want to backtrack, but we'll talk about this first for a minute. So, on premiere night, we saw you, Frenchie, go into the house. I think a lot of us were cheering you on at that moment. Then we got to the point where you won that first HOH. And, I don't know if you've watched the premiere yet, but we watched a lot of Julie being like, first time ever, this is going to be something that's never been done before, an offer that they can't refuse. And you're
she put a target on my back.
Yeah, but
instantly.
Here was my thing. I was like, when you refused that, I went, you don't refuse Julie Chen, Frenchie. You don't refuse. I was like, now they're coming for you. The BB gods. They're coming. So that's why, we joke around here. Of course, John, I was like, oh, no, that's it. He's out. You refused, Julie. Yeah. You are out.
And that's why I held the door for everybody and let them all go in first. Because, the first person in cursed. Like, I was so nervous about that. I was like, there's no way in hell I'm going in this door first. Y'all go. I'm not having it. And then, lo and behold, I got the first HOH curse. So it's okay.
I forget. That curse is broken, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Who broke that? I have such a horrible memory.
Well, it wasn't 21 because Christy won the first HOH on
Tamar.
Yes.
Oh my God. Celebrity, but then some people don't consider that real Big Brother. I do love how chat is like, I can't believe that Frenchie's wearing the baseball hat and Eric's wearing a cowboy one.
Yeah. See, there's two kinds of country, all right? You got your cowboys and you're just country boy farmers. And there's a huge difference between the two. I'm not a cowboy.
Okay, not a cow. No, we heard about your tattoos, Frenchie.
Which one? The burned ones or the other ones?
We heard about all of them.
The lucky one. How lucky.
Oh, God. You know what? That was, speaking of bets, let's talk about that for a second.
Okay, let's talk about it. Please tell me you lost a bet.
I did. I absolutely did. So I was in a fraternity in college, and we got super wasted one night. And they were like, we had a basketball, and they were like, if you can make it, because we had a keg that was cut out at the top. And they were like, if you can make it in that keg, we will all go get whatever tattoo you want. But if you miss it, you get what we want. And at the time, I was like, super arrogant. So I was like, okay, let's do this. Like, it was like borderline narcissism in college, and because there was girls standing right there. I was a single man at the time. Like, I was like, give me that ball. Took the ball, missed. Okay, and I was like, dadgummit. All right, so we went to the tattoo shop, and it was like, well, when I missed it, all of them was like, damn, lucky you. And I was like, okay. So we went to the tattoo shop, and they were like, that's it, but above your crotch. And I was like, oh, are you serious? And they're like, yep. And I was like, I'm a good sport. Like, if I say I'm going to do something, like, I'm all for it. So I was like, you know what, screw it. I can always get it covered up later. So I did. And the tattoo artist was like looking at me like, why are you doing this, man?
Like looking up at you.
Yeah. Like, he was like, why are you doing this? And I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I don't even care at this point. Just do it. And he was like, you're going to regret this. And I absolutely do.
See, now I can't make fun of that too badly.
No.
When I was in my 20s, young 20s, I went to a tattoo shop also and said I would like the Blues Clues tattoo on, let's just call it my butt. But I said I wanted it very small, like the size of a quarter. Right. But I was maybe intoxicated. I've come to learn now that tattoo parlors are not allowed to do that. I got home and looked at it, and it turned out it's the size of my hand. So I have a giant blue paw print on me, and everybody always goes, a clue. It's very embarrassing, Frenchie.
My stomach's hurting. I'm going to laugh so hard at that later.
That is what they are doing. So, I'm glad that you explained that. We were wondering about the Lucky You tattoo.
Yeah.
But I want to backtrack for a minute to you being the super fan, being in this game, because I do want to talk about, obviously, I know you're aware there are people that have critiques or things about your game, and I want to give you the opportunity.
I'm with John on that one.
I want to give you the opportunity.
I love the way you phrased that.
I did.
That's
critiques.
Be very nice, right? French, be very nice to everybody.
Yeah. It's more like you go to hell, and you die. Like,
I hope
yeah.
Yeah, no. So one of them was.
Time I got called the worst player to ever play Big Brother, I'd be a rich man.
Look, you already know. I said there was a time when I thought that you were a little narcissistic in that HOH. We're going to get there. We're going to get to those things.
Let's do this, because I got a bone to pick with you on that. Come on.
Okay. So Twitter, right? Twitter felt that there were times that maybe you were playing to Twitter. I kind of felt that sometimes watching too, where it almost felt like you would be like, you would say something and it would almost seem like you are a fan, Big Brother, let me say this. I think Twitter would love it. Obviously, the most, I think one of the biggest ones that most people talk about is I'm not going to put up a woman, I'm not going to put up a person of color, and then obviously that's who got put up. So what do you want to say about that?
Well, first of all, can I do something really quick, and then we'll get into this conversation.
Yes.
Okay. First of all, I've waited for this to say something that I've wanted to say, and I know y'all have no idea what's about to come out of my mouth, but I personally just want to say that I'm sincerely sorry. Season after season, we're always going after people and talking about not owning up to your actions. And that's something that I will never do. I know I made a mistake. I went against my morals, my beliefs. And inside that game, things do get crazy. But I'm not a person of excuse. I did what I did. I hope that later on down the road, we can talk about this more and you can forgive me for this. And, I understand that I made a mistake. I have a lot of learning to do. And I tell people all the time, it's not just about this subject. I'm consistently learning day to day about all kinds of subjects. And it's something that I get emotional about, and what people can't see. And I don't know if it was on the feeds or not. And I'm not saying go watch this just for this purpose. But literally, from the second I put them keys in that box, I went straight to the bathroom, and I felt like an instant hypocrite. I was harder on myself than any of y'all could be on me. I know I messed up. I'm owning up to that mistake. And like I said, I hope that it's something that people can forgive me on. And it's a learning experience that I have to do that myself. It's not anybody's responsibility to teach me anything. It's on me as a person to learn and make the mistakes and learn from those mistakes. And that's something that I plan on doing and that I am doing. I have taken a week to reflect. That's why I haven't even mentioned it on social media or interviews or anything. Our exit interviews, we had to say what we had to say. But I took some time to reflect on myself and figure out why this happened and how I can go forward and not make those same judgment calls and mistakes again. And it's something that I will continue to do. And I'm not asking for anybody to say it's okay, because it's not. I'm not asking for anybody's instant forgiveness. I'm going to say, let me learn and let me go through my actions, not my words, because actions are ultimately more important than words will ever be. So I'm going to simply say, let me learn and let me guide through my mistakes and learn from my mistakes and watch my actions from here on out. And I do apologize to everybody.
And this is a great first step. We're all work in progress. It doesn't matter how old you are, and I think, I don't know, I think the intention was great and was there, but do you think some of your earlier decisions and then how that week was going, like saying everybody was safe kind of thing, and then all of a sudden you had the wild card comp and the person that you wanted, you know what I mean? Like
it was a lot from the moment we walked in that door, and Julie put a lot of pressure on me personally with the dice roll.
Yes.
And I instantly knew when she was like, "Oh, this many comps in a row." Yeah. I knew that. Everybody in Big Brother knew from that moment that everybody that was listening to that statement was like, okay, you're going to be a comp beast. You got to go. So I instantly had a target on my back. And then Christian, being the comp beast that he is as well, when he won. And then I got nervous when I saw him spin that little wheel. Right. I was so scared that thing was going to land on 3.
You didn't it almost? I think, yeah.
It was very, very, very. Right. And I literally was about to shit my pants because for a second I thought it was on 3, and I was like, "My God!" Like, okay, but he saved Xavier, and inside I'm excited. I'm like, okay, because Xavier was nowhere on my radar.
Right.
And like, I was honestly going to put up Christian. And I was going to put up Brent originally. Mm-hmm. This is before Travis got on my radar with that alliance that he was forming. But those were going to be my 2 that I instantly was putting on the block. I was like, nothing's going to change my mind on this. And so I instantly started telling, the women and stuff like that, "Oh, y'all are safe. You don't have to worry about anything." Because I knew who I was going to put up. Then the wild card comes. Christian got safe. And I'm like, shit.
Right.
Okay, what do I do? Paranoia starts setting in at that moment. Mm-hmm. My pond of nominations has now came to a water droplet. And when those keys are in front of you, I didn't tell anybody who I was going to nominate in that house. I just went in there and I was like, my mindset personally was this, okay? During that HOH competition, I had to roll the dice. Mm-hmm. What was going to happen in that veto competition? Was there going to be, the whole time she's pounding big risks, big rewards. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So I was worried that once I hit that veto, if there's a reward in there for that veto winner, who can I trust with that? I don't know. And I was like, the one person that I know, I definitely, at the time, I was like, I don't want Brent getting this, because it was one of those, the whole, we'll get into why the slaughterhouse was formed. But at that moment, I was like, that's dangerous. So I was like, and then I heard Christian was coming after me, but Christian was safe.
Right.
And I psyched myself out pretty much. I was like, if I can't get him, who's the closest person to him?
Right. And I think, I think that promising so many people safety in the beginning, and then your numbers just started getting smaller and smaller. You don't want to nominate people for gender and color and all that stuff. And now it's becoming a smaller pool. So at that point, you're going to make anybody mad, right? Because everybody was kind of safe,
So somebody was getting mad at that house, and it was my fault. I have nobody to point fingers at other than myself on that. And if I could go back, that would be the one thing that I would do, is just shut up and not
But, I mean, here's the thing.
I say to myself all the time, shut up, John.
Please. So I want to go back. Like, you have driven this so far away from where we needed to be.
I was having a moment.
Let us have our moments there.
Well, here's what I want to say, because I want to acknowledge the first thing. I don't think, regardless of how people feel about, you saying you weren't going to put up a person of color or a woman, and then that plan changed, even though that your outcome. And I think a lot of people will appreciate you apologizing for that and owning it and not making an excuse. I think that's all that anybody could want. I just want to say, in case people need to hear it from me, from John, from whoever, none of that still constitutes any of the hate that people like Frenchie or people that play this game get. And I know that, you get threatened, your family gets threatened, and that's just not okay ever. And I don't know how people think that, you doing that in a game equals threatening your children's lives to you. So like, that is the part of the Big Brother community and fandom that I hope you realize does not represent a large majority. Unfortunately, it is a loud, part of it. But I just hope that that there are going to be people who were upset and now understand more and will watch you change and grow, like you said, and be appreciative of that. So I hope that you remember that. And I hope that people, stop just being so hateful about things and giving you a chance.
It's funny because when Brent, I found out Brent was evicted, I haven't watched the show since I've got out. I haven't seen live feeds. I haven't seen none of that. And it's wild because I was like, look, Lee, don't attack Brent when he comes out. And my DMs blew up. And they were like, don't you know about this? And like, people just assume that when we come out of this house, we continue to watch the show and we watch the live feeds. And, I don't know if it's just because I'm a super fan that people just assume that that's what I do. But like this week, I've just woo-side. Like that's all I've wanted to do. Like I've been fishing. I went back on the farm, my family. That's it. So I haven't even seen the show. So
will you watch the show? Like, are you saying that you will not watch it, or you are just busy?
Just at the moment. Yeah, just at the moment, I'm not. I plan on watching it. Absolutely. Okay. The super fan of me won't allow me not to watch the show. Like, let's just be honest. Like, I will.
Yeah.
But, or if I ever find out that Big D is on that block, I am going to raise hell because, I'm telling you, go Big D. I'll say that 5,000 times. That was my ride or die from the moment I got in that.
He was from the beginning.
I love him to death. And it's funny because when I got out, people were like, they would text me and be like, do you know who his dad is? And I'm like, that doesn't change like who he is. Do you know what I mean? Like, what does that have to do about him? Nothing. Like he's an amazing person, and who his parents aren't going to change who he is. And I'm going to love him regardless of who his parents are. And
absolutely.
I get it. All right. Here's what I need you to help me understand. Cause this was one of I was like, wait, say what now? Who? So, we saw you wanting to take out the jock, the strong player, and go after Brent early on. And then it kind of changed into, okay, but now I'm going to work with Brent and I'm going to trust him. A lot of your, one of the jokes that I made about you was, you're on the block, you're in trouble, it always seemed like it would switch, or then all they would have to do is have a conversation with you, and then they were like back in your good graces. So was that part of your strategy, or is that just part of what you're saying? Like, there was a lot of this stress and you were just trying to make the most of it that you could in those moments.
Okay, first let me start by saying this. Brent was a part of the slaughterhouse. Okay. And when I'm saying all this, I'm saying not strategically, but specifically about game, right?
Yeah.
Because Brent, I don't, like I said, I haven't seen anything. He's a great guy from what I know. Nothing against him, but we're going to talk about game here for a minute. The slaughterhouse, hence the name slaughterhouse. What the hell do farmers do to their cows when they're ready to put them on a chopping block? They take them to what? The slaughterhouse, right? So the people that I was nervous about, the people that I was worried about in this game, or that I thought would go super far and was a huge threat to me, were in that slaughterhouse. And I said, okay, I would rather have you close than to have to go to each and every one of you and butt heads with each and every one of you. So let me try to bring you close. The people that, like Ozza, Brittany, Derek F., I could tell he was just the type of person that he didn't care, and he was going to be a ride or die regardless. We were either going to go down in flames together, or we're going to ride to the end together. So that's why he got added to the slaughterhouse too. And I knew people would talk to him and trust him. And of course, we would talk to each other. So people talk about, well, I watch the feeds. Okay. What you didn't know is, and I'm probably going to get in trouble for this, but what you didn't know is we had something that we did to where we could stop the feeds. We knew the feeds would cut if we said something.
I know. Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, I think we did see that. I might have yelled at you a little for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I did. I was one of the two that came up with that.
There's a feed safe word. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
That's the safe word. And if that safe word got mentioned, feeds were cut. So we figured we'd have about 10 seconds to say what we had to say. And then y'all would start to come back and see what we did.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, we've done the slaughterhouse. And as me and Derek F. are walking out of the room, I look up, we say a word, and we was able to say what we had to say and got out. And my exact words were, I don't really trust none of these
people.
Yeah, people.
Friends.
Yeah, friends to the end.
Roommate.
And they were great to talk to, but I knew that in the end they were going to be huge threats. You know what I mean? To my game, and I knew that they were going to be the ones. The people in the slaughterhouse were going to be the ones to take that $750,000. So I had to keep them close. The people that I honestly, and everybody's going to be like, oh, whatever. I kept my team at a small distance from the first week because I knew I was going to go in there. I'm going to swing for the fences, and I'm probably going to end up raising hell. And the last thing that I wanted for Ozza, for Brittany, was that backlash to come back on them. So what did I do? I kept a little distance from them for the simple fact of I know that it would upset them a little bit, and people would think that we weren't as super close. And that, to me, was important to me because I know that it would take the target off of them and put it on me if it had to go anywhere. So I was okay with that 100%. And I kept the slaughterhouse close, and I knew that nomination time, to get back to your original, not trying to go gallivant. But to get back to the original, gallivant. Looking like Indiana Jones right now. I love it. Look, if I put up Brent it would have raised hell. That house would have flipped upside down, and you thought week 1 was chaos. Had I put up Brent, you would have not even seen remote what chaos would have been. Everybody would have been balls to the wall crazy if I would have put up Brent, because everybody liked Brent at that particular point in time. I mean, we had the slaughterhouse, and that was a pretty good amount of people, and that would have pissed every single one of them off. And I was like, okay, well, out of this key list, who do I trust? If something happens in this veto, who do I feel like I can trust? And I was like, Kyland, because he's a good-hearted guy. He's super sweet. And to me, he just seemed like a complete sweetheart. And I was like, he had came up to me and we had this talk, and, I felt really good about it at that particular time. So I was like, okay, well, I know I can trust him with whatever happens with the veto. Come to find out now, I knew he had my number, but that's here nor there. At the time, I thought that I could 100% trust him. So I was like, if anything rogue happens, Julie throws me any kind of crazy sideball things, I'm going to be okay. This target ain't going to get bigger than what it is. And I was wrong. The veto, I'm man enough to admit I made mistakes. The veto had nothing crazy in it. And somebody had told Kylan that I said not to use the veto. I'm the type of person where I'm going to analyze every particular angle of every situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the night, I wanted to be the last person that spoke to Derek X. And I told him, I said, you got to do what's best for your game. I would like you to use the veto.
I saw that.
I wanted that to be the last thing on his mind before he went to sleep. I wanted him to use that veto because I knew my end goal. And my end goal was getting one of the meatheads out of the house. I had to do it. I would have never let myself live it down had I not taken a shot while I could. And because you don't know if you're ever going to get HOH again. You don't even know if you're going to be in the house the next week, much less be HOH again. So I made sure that shot was taken, and I wanted to send a message to Alyssa, not to Alyssa, but through Alyssa to Christian, that okay, if you're coming, you better come correct. And the shot got sounded off, and apparently America went this way with it, and my intentions went this way with it. And
Frenchie, this is why we have a problem, is that you did not like my poor, sweet, precious Christian.
You know what?
He's adorable.
He's a sweet guy.
Yes.
And he's a good guy.
Yes. Adorable.
He's a meathead.
But
not that smart, but adorable.
No, he's a good. Look at you.
All his brains are in his curls.
No, seriously, he's a great guy. I really enjoy Christian, and I enjoyed talking to Christian. I just knew that he's a very tough competitor, and he had told us previous to that he was an alternate, and that in the past the new alternates didn't really, they just went for it. Mm-hmm. And I knew that he was probably going to go for it. And I'm hearing now that he's the HOH and he went for it. And, he has a lot of people who like him, which a lot of people do. I liked him, but I tried to differentiate game from liking somebody, and I had a hard time with that.
Listen, he's a physical threat. I mean, there's this meme, and it's not even shortened, where he's doing a plank, stands up, does a backflip, does a plank, does a back. He does it 6 times. Like, he's a physical threat.
Them pecs might look good on film, but let me tell you, them things, yeah, look at her. Yeah, him and Travis are literally like Greek chiseled gods in person. Okay, like their physique is absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
And I got these. Let me see. Can you see it? I got these old spaghetti noodle arms right here. I don't have a chance with guys like that. You know what I mean? I literally, when I walked in that house, I was like, okay, there's going to be 2 meatheads at the most. That's normal seasons. 2 or 3 at the most.
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
I think
and
you targeting that a little early on, I think is what all us fans kind of wanted to do, right? Like, why save these physical threats till later on where it's even more difficult to get them out because there's less people in the house?
exactly. And
Yeah.
like I'm up there on the balcony with Big D, and I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Holy crap! There's 6 of them here. Like casting did this to me on purpose. There's 6 of them in here. They knew I said I didn't like meatheads, and here you go. There's 6 of them in the house. Like I literally felt like a goldfish in a shark tank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's exactly how I felt. Because I'm a smaller guy, and I felt like a goldfish in a shark tank. So I felt like I had to turn into a shark too, and turning into a shark was horribly wrong.
Right.
But for my game, it was horribly wrong. But I did it, and I can't take it back.
Or as I like to say, porcupine in a twister storm. Okay, I want to give you a chance to talk about one of the other, things that people like to comment on that you did in your fun week of feeds, which was start an all-girl alliance, Frenchie.
Look, in my heart, and I mean this whole sincerely.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved for them to work and for me to step aside and them to go after everybody. I would have loved it. I would have loved it had they run the house and went through. And even if I got taken out by them, I would have been like, well played, girl. It finally happened. Like I said, I played what the fan in me wanted to see. And that was a huge mistake of mine. And as a fan, I've always wanted to see that happen, and I've always wanted to see it work, because we all know that they implode a day later or 2 days later. Right. And I was like, you know what? Like this could actually work with these ladies. They're super smart. They're intelligent. You got people like Hannah that sat at the memory wall and literally went down each of our faces and mentioned our birthdays. She knew my kids' birthdays. Whitney's kid's birthday. Like she's smart. She is so smart. And
government agent.
You have super smart women like that. You have very powerful, smart women like Azza. Yeah. She is such an angel and such an amazing human being. I love her to death. And she actually humbled me in that house. But her words are powerful. When she speaks, you listen. And she also has that funny side to her too.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I knew that there was a collective of these women in the house that, they could have easily taken it as far as they wanted to go.
Right. And we don't see everything on the feeds, even though we think we might, but we don't. So when you were talking about the Girl Alliance, the French kisses.
Can I mention I hate that name?
Do you?
I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I said I liked the name. But in my head, I was like, I absolutely do not like this name. Like, it is what it is. I have to own it. I'm okay with it.
It's whatever, as long as they're an alliance. But was your intention, was it you to lead it, the all girl alliance, or just form it and go, okay, girls, since you're all girls, you guys do it? Yeah,
absolutely. Okay. I wanted it to be formed. I wanted to step away from it and them to know that no matter what, I would protect them. And the slaughterhouse was my one that I didn't mind like dissipating, but I did tell the slaughterhouse about the Girls Alliance because in my mind, me and the girls had the numbers no matter what. So even if they wanted to cause chaos between themselves, we had the numbers at that point had we stuck together.
And it was also a way to protect you, right? Because you had the slaughterhouse. You needed something with the other people that were not in the slaughterhouse. So that was another way to do it. I saw a lot
I genuinely love them girls. Like them girls are amazing. Like like SB. I love SB. She's super sweet. And love Azza to death. And she tells it like it is. And I love it. I genuinely cared about each and every one of them girls that were in there, to where I was so nervous, and I don't want to say scared. I wasn't scared, but I was definitely nervous of the people in the slaughterhouse from the start.
Right.
And so that in itself to me was the more important line that I had to draw. And had I had to choose between the two, I would have went with the women's lines over the slaughterhouse.
I mean, I will say this because I think it is, and I am guilty of it, to get wrapped up in the why is Frenchie doing this or why is Frenchie doing that and thing. But I will say what you said before, and I have been lucky enough this season to really have the feeds on 24/7. I do believe there was a struggle in you between game and who you are as a person, because you're
absolutely.
right. I did see you go to like a Derek X and be like, you have to do what's best for you. If using this is good, then use it or don't use it. I did on the feed see you have those conversations where you told people to do what was best for their game, when in times that was not what was best for your game.
Oh, absolutely.
So then, that being said, one of the things that I saw people asking was, what was the thought process of pinning the all-girl alliance on Brittany? Like, was that strategy to try and save your game, or like what was your thought process behind that? Because Brittany kind of has seen fallout from that, or Brent has used that, let's say, kind of against her. Do you feel like that is attributed to you at all?
Oh, absolutely. And that's something that I have to own up to, and I just got carried away in that moment. Like I said, I made a mistake. I really messed up. But my thought process on that was, I knew that at that particular moment, I thought that I was the most protected person in that house, week one, and that no matter what, I could keep Brittany safe. So if I said it was Brittany, no matter what, I knew I could keep her safe. And that was my, at the particular moment, that was my, my thought process. So I knew that she would be somebody that I could easily put that force field around where nobody would come after her. I was wrong completely, but
I mean, but I appreciate that. I honestly don't think that's something you need to apologize for. I think that's game. We're watching people blame things on other people.
Lie about it.
Literally. That one's the game. So, like, obviously you're gonna want to shift the target around where it needs to go to keep you and your game safe. Yeah. That's Big Brother.
Yeah. This is what I struggled with, okay?
Uh-huh.
Like I said, playing what the fan in me wanted to see was what you saw.
Right.
Me, as a person, I was like, look, I'm going to put up Brent. I'm going to put up Travis. I don't care who gets mad. They're going to deal with it. And if I have fallout from the slaughterhouse, then you know what? We're going to go toe-to-toe like grown men. And then that in-the-house paranoia starts kicking in, and you're like, well, if you do that, it's going to implode. And you're going to have all of the slaughterhouse. You're going to have the butchers. You're going to have everybody coming for your neck at that point, because you ruined their alliance. And you pretty much blew 7 people's game up completely if you do that. And then I started thinking, oh crap, I can't do that. So, people, when you're in that house, all you have is your thoughts, and you tend to overthink. At least I personally tend to overthink a lot when I'm by myself, because I think of every possible outcome, and I'm like, I'm screwed either way at this point.
I have a very important question that I have to ask you. It was one of the things that has enraged me during your week. It is continuing to enrage me now.
Oh, no.
All right.
Why, for the love of God, will you people not say the name in the conversation? You're like, I think you know who I'm talking about.
Give me an example. Give me an example of that.
So, like, they want to target Whitney right now. They'll be like, All right, so we're gonna go after, the and then someone will be like, oh, the blonde with the extensions, and they'll be like, okay, so you know who I'm talking about, so we're gonna target that person. It's like nobody says the name when having the conversations with the HOH, and is it just like a deniability? Like, do you think it's because the
I don't know. 'Cause when I had a problem with somebody in that house that first week, I called their ass up there and I talked to them about it.
You did.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how I worked. Like if I had an issue, like I called you up there and we talked about it. As far as like not using names and stuff, like there's only so many people in that house. It's gonna be found out who you're talking to. So I was like, you know what? If I got an issue, I'm just going to call the person over there and I'm going to talk to you about it. I'm not going to beat around the bush and go talk to this person and this person and this person. I'm going to go directly to the source. And that was part of a downfall of my game too, because,
But to be fair, Frenchie, you would call alliances the A word.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another example. I'd be like, just say alliance, Frenchie. It's an alliance. I don't want to say the
A word.
Like, just say alliance.
Does that tickle your fancy a little bit?
It is. I don't know why. I have to find things to be mad about on this show so that people find it funny. And that was one of the ones that I picked. Okay, because again, you are a super fan. I think you'll be happy to know. I think this is one of the last, big things that we got a lot of questions about. It seemed that you maybe wanted, after the POV was over for you, which, yay for suntan lotion. It seemed like there was a moment where maybe
baseball sliding, just a baseball slide. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, but I was baseball slide. I was having so much fun. I was like a kid in a candy store. I'm like, all right, let's see how far I can slide on this one. I don't even care at this point.
I forgot that you haven't seen these things yet. It's when we were watching on the live feeds, it seemed like there might have been a moment where you wanted to quit or self-evict. Is any of that true? Like, did you want to quit after you lost, I think, the POV? Yes.
Okay, we're getting on edgy ground now, and I'm going to say there's a very justifiable reason for that.
Okay.
And why I said what I said. However,
and you didn't.
I'm not allowed to talk about that.
No, that's fine, because you didn't quit, but you didn't quit. You didn't leave. But so you would just say you were going through something, let's say, that was bigger than the game. And
absolutely. That's exactly what it was.
I think everyone in that house feels that they want to quit at some times, and I think it is easy when, as a fandom.
Can I say this though?
Yeah.
It's if I was allowed to say what it is, people would be like, "All right, justified." I can't. I can't.
No, I totally
put
get
that out there, and I won't, because I'm not gonna get that's super dark murky water right there.
Yeah. So don't. And I
will allow people to, if they think I want to quit and they think that I just was tired of the game, I'll say this, okay? I've been a fan of this show since season 1. If you honestly think that I would have walked out of that door over a game move or being in check on a game, you're out of your mind.
Damn mind.
Here's what I'm hearing, Frenchie. You realized how good looking Christian was. And that you couldn't compete with that.
Oh, gosh.
And that you were like, this is too much. I have to leave.
Absolutely. I asked, how come I can't have abs like that? And I'm mad at him.
Me too. I
was like, get me out of here. No, but it had a lot more to do with, to me, there's my family will always come first. And that's all I'll say about that. No. But it's one of them things that it had nothing to do with the game.
It didn't.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
So it's personal.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And if there's ever a day where they can be like, all right, like go ahead, then it'll be
totally get it. Totally get it. We can move on from it. You don't even have to keep.
Absolutely. But Heather Hampshire in the comments wants to know: will he be a super fan after being part of the show?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Nothing will ever change that. Regardless of how much hate, any of that. Because like I said before, I was the one that had posted and said, look, roast me. If I do something wrong, roast me. And I'm all about it. But there is a line between roasting me and having fun and talking about killing me and my children. That's something that I will not tolerate. I will laugh with you and I will laugh at myself all day long. But when it comes to that, like, I made some mistakes in the game. All right, let's talk about it like adults.
Yeah.
But there's you cross that line and it becomes intolerable anymore. And I hope that those fans that do the things like that, I hope they seriously get some help and they get some fresh air because they need it. And to the fans that like something. I mean, Jesus. Like, how do you have the time to sit there and have the obsession to be like, I'm going to kill your kid?
Who has the chance to create all those accounts when you block? It's like,
absolutely.
My advice would be to block and mute, and not for nothing. I went through this to a much smaller extent last season. If you're not aware of the resources, there are resources to report those people. That is a death threat. Just because you were on a television show does not make it any less of a death threat. And I can show you where you report that, and it'll be investigated. So,
but I will say this. To the ones that came up with the funny things, okay? I got texted some hilarious things. The Frenchie fries. Y'all, the Frenchie fries things. Like, look, but you gotta be original, okay? Me and my sister have been called that our entire life. That's all we heard. That's where Frenchie came from, is because we got so sick and tired of hearing French fries, French kiss, French toast. Be original. That's all I ask. Like, if you're going to do it, I will laugh with you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I will laugh with you. All right. Because I enjoy that stuff. I enjoy the memes, like the GIFs. Like, I enjoy all that. And let's have fun together. But just don't cross that line of talking about, other than that. Yeah. Let's have fun with it.
I like I say, I think I've asked all of the big things that people have talked about. That's a great way if people need an example of how you can ask a question not offensively and have a discussion. It's
and like I tried to be sarcastic. I tried to be sarcastic and make this point, this post, and I was like, "Are y'all bored yet?" Like laughing my ass off, like a complete sarcasm, okay? And apparently people don't realize it's sarcasm.
No.
Or I suck at sarcasm. And people were like, oh my God, you're a narcissist. Like, you think that you were the entertainment. And I was like, I was being a smart ass, people. Like, my God.
And you were entertaining.
Here's the hard lesson that I have to learn, that I had to learn, Frenchie. People, when you write something down, you're giving people the ability to put their emotion on your words. There have been people who have come at me for things that I've tweeted, and I've been like, I say that same exact thing on the show. It's clear it's a joke, but like people don't get it. People don't get, so I mean, you do have to, I guess, be a little bit careful of that. Sarah Williams wants to know, what was something that surprised you going into the house as a super fan?
So I thought that this game from the couch would be, I was like, why do these people get so paranoid? This is absolutely ridiculous. Quit that. Like, stop. The paranoia can't be real like that. And I'm telling you, from the moment you step in that door, and when I heard Julie say, oh, you won 2 competitions in a row, in my head, I'm like, shit. Okay, like, I did, and now I got a big target on my back. And it went downhill from there like a roller coaster. I was like, whoop, now I get it. Now I understand. And because normally I'm like this super like calm and collective person, and I work best when my back's against the wall.
Right.
But man, let me tell you, 16 people at you.
No, I cannot imagine. I always say that I would love to play Big Brother because I'd be so cutthroat and I don't care about these people's feelings. And in reality, I know I'd be in a corner crying in 5 minutes.
I said the same. I was like, I don't care about these people's feelings. Like, they're all going home anyway. Like,
have to.
And then I got in there and like they pulled my heartstrings, and I'm like, dadgummit.
Destinies wants to know, were you surprised to learn about the Cookout Alliance, and what are your thoughts on it? So have you heard anything? Like I said, I know that you are back in the real world. You are spending time with your family. And if people have not looked at your social media of when you reunited with your family in the airport, it is absolutely adorable. But what are your thoughts on the Cookout Alliance?
I will tell you how long I've actually known about the Cookout Alliance and when it started forming. Derek came up to me one day. We were in am I allowed to say this?
Yes.
We were in an HOH lockdown, and he whispered in my ear and told me about it.
Really? Derek exposed the Cookout.
Yes. And if you hear in the feeds randomly, you will hear Derek say, I wish we had a grill. I wish we had a grill.
Ooh.
We did hear that.
And that was me and Derek talking to each other, letting each other know we know, but that Cookout Alliance had my full support. Like, whatever, that was my way of saying, whatever you need, let's grill whoever we got to grill. Like, I was not a part of that alliance at all. I was not responsible, but I fully supported it. And if they needed anything, I was there. And so you hear me and Derek talk about, I wish we had a grill. I wish we had a George Foreman. And because the George Foreman was hinting at the let's knock out whoever we got to knock out. And the grill was like referring to the cookout. So, yeah, just a little insight from a conversation that nobody, not even feeds, got to hear.
Interesting.
Yeah. So Michelle Blackshear in the comments says, have you talked to Travis? And who do you think will win?
I have not talked to Travis. I did reach out to him. I would be pissed at myself also if I he evicted me. But he's a great guy. I hope nothing but great success for Travis. He's a successful person, super sweet, love him to death. But I think if people don't watch out, Hannah is super smart.
Oh, well.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get there because I want to ask you a little bit about what's going on in the feeds as well. I just want to make sure I get in more of these questions from people.
Yeah.
Lana Miller wants to know, due to leaving early, you missed a bunch of traditional Big Brother experiences. Zingbot, OTEV, etc. Which one of those are you regretting, or was there anyone that you really wanted to be there for?
Yeah, the wall comp. 100%. The wall comp. That was my favorite thing, and the only thing I wanted to do really in Big Brother was a wall comp. Like, OTEV's great, but for me, it was a wall comp.
Well, then here's a great follow-up from Deb Smith. She says, you were so looking forward to the wall comp, but now you're not there. Who do you think will win it when they eventually have a wall comp?
Oh, Alyssa.
Okay.
I think Alyssa will win it. She's small. She's strong. And she has what a lot of people probably don't realize about her. And we had a lot of talks like during lockdowns and stuff, but she's super like strong-minded. When she puts her mind to something, that's it. Like, there's no change in her mind. There's no nothing. So I think when she gets on that wall, there's going to be no tearing her off that wall. And she has the body mass to be able to just like perfectly stand there.
Oh yeah.
So I think she's going to win that one.
I love this question from Wendy L. Stebbins. Biggest surprise about your fellow house guests' real careers versus what they said they did in the house?
Oh, Sarah Beth.
Right?
I heard Sarah Beth, and I was like, she had me fooled. She was the only one. Me and Derek called Xavier out for being a lawyer, and so we had very good intuitions on that. And Claire, I went at her the last day, and I was like, I know that's not what you are. But Sarah Beth had me because she literally stood behind me and sounded just like that GPS lady and was like recalculating.
With the voiceover, yeah.
Oh, it sounds so good. So I 100% believed she was and then I got out and I'm like, oh my God, like she's amazing. Like she's a real life CSI agent. Like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
that blew my mind.
I want to ask this question from Lost and Concruised. He says, Frenchie, I joked each week that you were playing like alumni. Week 1 was Devin. Week 2 was Audrey. Who do you think you would have played like if you went forward into week 3?
Raven.
Awesome question.
Oh,
Raven. I mean, he said Devin, Audrey. So yeah, might as well just keep going with his funniness. Let's say Raven.
okay, Raven. And going in as a super fan, and getting evicted in the way that you did, has any of this changed your thoughts on Big Brother?
No, it made me respect it a whole lot more. 100% more. And I loved this game coming in, but when you're actually in there and you hear people say, oh, you can hear through the walls. And when you're there and you can actually hear through the walls, and when you're passing those people and they just quit talking and you automatically think they're talking about, you know, you or your alliance or something like that, you gain so much respect for this game. And the competitions, you know, they might look easy, but some of them are pretty tough. They're fun, but you know, some of them are pretty tough.
Doctor Who Heather in the comments says, what was Frenchie's favorite moment in the house?
Oh, my favorite
moment.
Seeing my kid's picture. A lot of people, for fans that don't know, I know that a lot of super fans watch your show, but if you don't see the feeds and everything, we're away from our kids longer than what you think. You know, they would have been like, oh, it's day 2. Like, why are you? We're away from our kids longer than that. And prior to that,
with COVID too,
right? And since my youngest daughter was born, there wasn't a day that I was away from her, not one. So she had grown so super attached to just being me and her every day that, you know, seeing that picture to me was it was magical. Like I missed her so much, and all my kids, and seeing them was just, you know, I had a night where I set the pictures in front of my lap in the HOH bed, and I was like, this is great. Like,
Frenchie, I don't understand. Maybe you can help me. See, I am gay, and I don't understand the point of children. Like, is it just that they're like little cooks and chefs, and like you use them to like clean stuff?
Can they make martinis, Frenchie? That's what I want to know.
What other purpose do they serve?
Let me tell you. Let me ask you a question. What is the one thing that you absolutely love most in this world?
Money.
Right now times that by 1,000. No. That, I mean, if that's the case,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
But if let's just say it is money. Let's just say, you know, that's your answer. Yeah. Times that by 1,000. That still won't even compare to the emotional attachment and the feeling that you will have when you have your own child. It is. I can't. It's something that I can't sit here and explain unless you've had one or you've been through it, because it's one of those experiences that.
But see, to me, aren't they just like little walking liabilities? I mean, you're always going to worry about them. You're always going to be scared something's going to happen.
I'm hungry.
I'm hungry. You have to feed me. Like, to me, it's just like, is there insurance? Is there liability insurance I can buy?
No, I don't think so on the insurance part. If there is, let me know, because you know, I have some things that have been broken in my house, and you know, if the insurance will replace those, let me know. But yeah, I literally don't know how to answer this question, man, because unless
No.
you experience it, you'll never know.
It was not a real question. I always pretend like I hate children because I
right.
can't have any because it's too much money when you're gay, and I don't like the.
It's too much money. Period.
Yeah.
Gay or not, it's too much. Period.
Yeah, it is too much money. Speaking of food, Frenchie says, is Frenchie happy to have Pepsi back now instead of Coke?
Yes, Coke is disgusting.
I love Coke.
You do?
Love it.
Oh my God! Do you know it takes the rust off of stuff?
I know, and I feel so cleansed afterwards.
Oh my goodness gracious! We need to get you on Pepsi. This is not a paid advertisement.
Yeah, we're not getting paid by any of those. We're not getting paid by any of these people. I have a very important question from someone in chat, Frenchie.
Okay.
And it's from your mom.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Aww.
What, Mom?
Your mom wants to know, did you miss your mom when you were playing Big Brother?
I did. Let me tell you something. I don't care what people say. My mom is one of my best friends. And my mom is one of the only people that I'm scared of in life. I've been through all kinds of things in life, military back, and my mom still scares me more than anybody in the world because she's the only person that I will not yell at or anything. And my mom scares the hell out of me.
Absolutely. My mom's actually watching too, Frenchie. If you want to say hi to my mom scares me.
Hi. It's a pleasure.
Maybe not if she sees those chat comments. So yeah, say hi now. John's mom says, "Why the hell?" No, I'm totally kidding.
You son of a.
I think that I always am rooting for the people that are parents, the older players in the game, just for the reason that you said. I think you play for a different reason. I don't ever think Christian will understand what it is like to have a mortgage. You have a farm and a career and it's your business, and then a marriage and children. I don't think that the recruits or the young people or those, and it's not to slam them, but they're not playing for the same things. And I think it's what makes players like you, like Tiffany, even like Whitney, more dynamic and entertaining players. And I don't care what anybody says if they liked you or didn't like you. I will say it. I didn't want you to go home because I knew we were going to lose part of that drama, part of that thing that made the feed so entertaining. And I think we did a little bit. I'm not saying they're not entertaining. They're great. There's so much strategy happening right now, but there's not that Frenchie chaos sprinkled through to make it fun.
That would have eased out very quickly. And I would have.
I loved it.
I think the longer I was in that house, I would have stopped playing for what the fan in me wanted. And I would have been like, all right, you got to snap out of this and do what you know is best because you're doing nothing but hurting your game. The longer I was in that house, and even towards the last week, I was starting to get super hard on myself. And I was like, why did you do this? Why did you not just play for yourself and play for what you wanted, your goal when you came in this house? Why did you not do it? And you let the paranoia of the house and everything else divert you from what you as a person wanted. And I kicked my own ass coming out of there harder than anybody else could have.
Well, Frenchie, I love these lessons learned, especially with All Stars. Hello, CBS. Yeah, when you're in the house for All Stars next season of All Stars, you can bring that knowledge.
Next season, slow down.
Taryn and them was like, do you think you're an all-star? It was something along those lines, and I was like, no, I don't think I'm an all-star. But I also saw the look that came along with that, so it is what it is. But that's for another day.
It isn't. And Frenchie, I don't want to brag, but a lot of people called me the 17th house guest because I was on Nicole's intro package on All Stars, and everybody talked about me on the live feeds for the first week. So like I was there.
You need to get your butt in there. I saw
Nope.
I saw you talk to Jesse about going in the house. You just need to go on and do it.
Nope. I like my friends and family.
No, you do that.
Chicken.
Get in there. He said, "I like my friends and family."
Yep, I do.
Better
Chickadee.
discount double check them and go back in.
I'm not letting Twitter go after them. No, I want to take one or two more questions because I know we're already over time. But Chickadee wants to know, who do you want to see right now in the final 2 chairs? And who do you think realistically has the best chance to end up in the final 2 chairs if those are different?
Want would be definitely Derek F. No questions asked there. Or Big D, like I call him. And either Ozza or Brittany. That would be my want. Like I said, those 3, my favorite people in the whole house.
Oh.
And SB is included in that too. I really enjoy SB. If we're being realistic, I think that Xavier and Hannah will go probably to the end together.
Well, I don't want to burst your bubble, but Hannah's a little bit of a target at the moment.
Somebody finally opened their eyes? My goodness
I mean,
gracious, y'all are getting smart shit.
Spoiler alert, let me put it to you this way. It's gonna be Whitney and Hannah on the block right now. Now, before the wild card comp, Christian and Alyssa were talking, and they were very much like, why are we gonna go after Whitney? Let other people go after Whitney. Let's take out Hannah now. And Xavier kind of talked them out of it a little bit and fed information to Hannah that she used. And now I feel like Hannah has made them more comfortable in staying. But we'll see. It's very much looking like Whitney and Hannah will end up on the block. And if Whitney wins POV, then it could be Hannah going.
Let me tell you this. Mm-hmm. Xavier is smart. Hannah is smart. She'll figure it out. She'll figure it out. And honestly, in my honest opinion, even if that veto is used on Whitney, she'll figure it out. I have that much belief in Hannah as a game player. My personal opinion, people are going to think otherwise, and that's okay. But I lived in that house with her, and there would be times where I'd come around a corner and I'd be hearing her whisper to herself, and we think analytically like that, and she does it all the time. She's super smart. I think she can get out of it.
She's amazing, and I don't think anyone's disagreeing with you. Twitter, Reddit, everyone are big Hannah fans. They want her. They want her protected very much. So
she's loved from the moment we got in that house. She's literally loved by everybody. Yeah. Her and I picked and joked at each other. I know that she had my number, but I knew that from weeks in. I knew that our jokes weren't really jokes for her. Mm-hmm. And I wasn't dumb enough or naive enough to think that they were just jokes. I knew had she had an opportunity, she was going to take that shot at me. But I had to respect her as a game player and know that she's smart. She's absolutely smart. And Tiffany's the same way. Like I said, I don't know what her status is in the house or how she actually felt about me, or because I haven't seen none of it. But she's smart too, man. She's smart.
Well, I think she is, and I think that everyone is so happy that you took some time out tonight, Frenchie, to come and answer questions and talk about these things. I want to say once again, first I want to remind everyone that make sure that you follow, like, and subscribe wherever you are watching these shows. Share them if you think there is someone that will will like them. And of course, check out our previous shows that John and I have already done. We are live after each episode. I'm not letting you go anywhere. Don't worry. You're going to have last word, Frenchie.
Okay.
Watch our recaps after each episode, and I'll be doing a live feed update show tomorrow, so check out all of our shows, and our content is the point. Now, Frenchie, number one, where do you want people to follow you on social media?
Honestly, I really don't care about social media. If you would
Really?
like to, it's at Farmer Frenchie. But what I would love you to do is take a second out of your time. If you're watching this, take a second out of your time. This ain't about me. Take a second out of your time. Go to Hearts of Reality.
Hearts of Reality.
And give kids the world. And donate if you can. Even if you don't have the opportunity to, whenever you can, that's great. It's not about us. It's not about me. It's about them kids. Go donate. If you want some things for the auction or whatever, that's great. But just know that it goes to the kids, and that's the most important part of this whole aspect for me. I also want to say that, John, I know you lost your bet. You know what? We're in this together. Whenever you got to do what you got to do, I'm doing it with you.
What?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I'll do your punishment with you.
What?
Yeah. Full dress up, full everything. I don't care. Makeup, everything. It don't matter to me.
I was going to say, I feel like I didn't explain this to people in the beginning of the show, that
They're probably like, makeup.
I made a bet with John on premiere night when Frenchie didn't take Julie's deal and said, well, that's it. Frenchie's not making it to jury.
And John said, oh, crapo.
And John said, yes, he is. And I said, okay, bet then. And John bet me. And the bet was whoever loses has to do the finale show for this season in full drag. So now I guess Frenchie's joining us for the finale show with John, and they'll both be in full drag, and I won't.
And you know what? If for some reason, because there's a chance that we could be flown back out.
Oh, that's right. You won't be
the finale. And you know what? I'll still hold my end of the deal. And, yeah, I'll still go full appearance.
Frenchie,
we'll do a theme.
Even if I have to go there.
I'll share my phone number, and then we can talk about themes, maybe like Golden Girls or whatever. Keep it fun. Keep it light.
Right? The world is yours. I just live in it. You let me know whatever we got to do.
Oh, I love you. Thank you so much, because I had your back with this bet, and you are a man of your word. Yes. You're doing this with me, and I love it. Thank you so much, Frenchie.
We're in this together.
And what I'm going to say is, Frenchie, you really had me convinced on everything that you said this episode, but now I'm feeling like you didn't remember. You can't promise people things you can't do, Frenchie. You can't dress in drag on finale night.
Why not?
They're not letting you. No, I know. I'm just screwing with you.
Do you think they would? Do you really think they would? If I told them, like, I had a bet, I have to do this on national television. Like,
Frenchie,
do you think they'd let me?
There is nothing more than I would love for you to walk out on that finale stage wearing a YRR shirt and full drag.
Oh,
however,
did they show Travis? Did they show Travis in drag on
yes. Well, I mean, it was more of the striptease.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they should let me.
No, I don't think that they would, but we don't pretend to know production.
If not, I will do it right afterwards.
There you go. I will.
If not, we'll do the full episode with them. So either way, it can happen.
Perfect.
Whenever you want, Frenchie, it's your guy. Maybe it'll be a John and Frenchie show, but you have to come up with a drag name. You got to do all that stuff.
We'll do
Frenchie. I want to make sure, well, first, I mean, you did talk about it a little bit. I want to emphasize it. Go to Hearts of Reality. Go to the Give Kids the Worlds. We'll put the links to those auctions below this video, wherever you guys are watching it. Bid on those things. We have always done stuff as well for Hearts of Reality and stuff. It is a great cause. All of that money goes for cancer research to help children. So you guys guys very much should do that. I think it is great. And I know even before Big Brother, you have supported charities as well, Frenchie.
Absolutely.
And I think that speaks a lot to your character. Just in case anyone wants to say it's just because he came out. No, he's been doing it for a long time, even before Big Brother. So we very much appreciate that. But I want to make sure that you have the floor to say what you want to say to your fans, Frenchie. I want to give you the final words, thoughts.
Yeah.
First of all, I want to say thank you to not just my fans, but everybody watching the show, because without y'all, none of us would be anything. I want my fans to know that if I'm not super fast to respond on social media is because I had plans coming out of this show to use my platform in a charitable way. And that's what my focus and my whole goal is right now, to get on the ground and hit that running. If there is any kind of thing that I can do to help y'all with any kind of charity organization or anything like that, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know. And if it's possible for me to help in any kind of way, I definitely will. Thank you to the people that have supported me. I greatly appreciate that. Thank you for the ones that have criticized me as well, because you've helped me grow and you have helped me learn about myself, honestly. And that means a lot more to me than anything else does, because I'm far from a perfect person. I've never pretended to be a perfect person, and any opportunity that I have to be able to learn and grow as a person, I'm going to take that. So thank you for that as well. And I mean, this was amazing.
Thank you. I am glad.
Yes.
I am so happy that you took time out to come on here. I hope that you will join us just for a regular recap show, just to talk about what's going on, on the episode. I think that will be fun. I do have to say, this is horrible. People, usually when you guys are giving your final thoughts and stuff, I'm just scanning chat. And then sometimes I'll laugh at chat and have the person think that I'm laughing at their heartfelt moment. It's not that. Somebody said, I don't know if you saw at the end of All Stars, I kind of made this like drone video of Nicole to, so you might have seen that video.
Yeah,
people were like, recreate that, but again, and with Frenchie.
Oh, God.
So they were like, get Frenchie in that outfit and then reshoot that.
Let me get your dress.
And that could be the thing. So I thought that would be very fun. It was very funny, Becca. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. John, where can they find you on social media?
Everywhere at Comedy Jonah. Frenchie, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure chatting with you. You are super awesome. I love that you were helping me with my loss of my bet. That's even more awesome of you. But yes, it was great talking to you. I'm a bigger fan now.
Yes. So I will see all of you guys back here tomorrow when the feeds are down for POV. We will do a live feed update show then. Like we said, check out all our old stuff. Make sure you're following all three of us. Like, share, comment. It really helps support us. We'll see you guys all in the next show. Bye for now, everybody. Bye, friends.